Pokemon Unite is finally here, and when you begin the game and you finish the tutorial, you get to choose between 5 starter Pokemon. But who do you choose? Well, in this video, I'm going to go over who you should choose based off of your playstyle. So, without further ado, let's get right into the video. One thing I do want to mention though, all of my information is based off of the Japanese stress test. This was before the final release, and this information could have changed. So, when you finish the tutorial, you get to choose between 5 starters. One Pokemon from each role. An attacker, a speedster, an all-rounder, a support, and a defense. If your playstyle is more of a long-ranged AoE attack, or just a long-range attack in general, you may really find yourself enjoying Pikachu. Pikachu does a lot of damage very fast and has a lot of long-range abilities to stay out of those close combat fights, which means you can stay alive for much longer, being able to initiate combat from ways away and get out of combat a lot faster. Pikachu overall has a very high offense stat as well as his 3rd basic attack ability. So every Pokemon in the game has a different basic attack. On the 3rd attack for Pikachu, Pikachu slows the opponents with that 3rd hit, especially making those early game fights much more winnable in Pikachu's favor because of that slow. So if you're more into ranged combat, I would highly recommend you take Pikachu as your starter Pokemon, especially if you pair him with items like a Float Stone, a Muscle Band, or a Shell Bell, and just increase Pikachu's attack damage, specifically basic attack damage. Pikachu can do a lot of damage from a long ways away. Pikachu's passive ability, Static, decreases the movement speed of all opponents near the Pokemon for a short time. When the Pokemon receives damage, this ability goes on a cooldown after it's triggered. So if Pokemon do end up getting close to Pikachu and he starts to take damage, Pikachu will release Static, slowing the enemies so Pikachu can get away from the fight and maybe continue to do ranged damage against his enemies. If you're more into a support type player, I would highly suggest you pick Eldegoss. Eldegoss is one of the better support characters in the game, with abilities like their Unite move, Cotton Cloud Crash, an attack that lifts Eldegoss into the air to slam down onto the ground, restoring HP to all allies, and dealing damage to opposing Pokemon in the area of effect. Eldegoss's Unite move, as I said, is probably one of the better Unite moves in the game, especially paired with their abilities, just constantly healing your Pokemon, healing your allied Pokemon, and dealing damage to enemy Pokemon. If you take items like the Buddy Barrier, the Assault Vest, the XP Share, Eldegoss can become a deadly character very fast. Paired with the right Pokemon, Eldegoss and another Pokemon can become an unstoppable duo in a lane together. During the Japanese stress test, I kept running up against Alolan Ninetales, Eldegoss, and Wigglytuff, just absolutely dominating the lanes together. So, as I mentioned, if you were into support Pokemon, I highly recommend that you take Eldegoss as your starter Pokemon. If you really want a high mobility character, I suggest Talonflame. Talonflame is great for getting early quick kills and late quick kills, as well as being able to surprise the enemy. Talonflame could also be considered as a MOBA term called a jungler, where you stay inside the middle area killing minions until you level up, and then you can attack enemies on the bottom or top lane and get the advantage on them because you're such higher level, just because you've been staying up there killing minions, gaining experience the entire game. Some of Talonflame's moves do a lot of damage and are absolutely great. One of Talonflame's better abilities is his passive. When this Pokemon is at a high HP, its movement speed is increased. Also, his Unite move. Talonflame's Unite move is Flame Sweep, an attack in which Talonflame charges forward over a long distance while cloaked in flame, shoving its opponents aside. Because Talonflame is cloaked in flame, he's unstoppable, which means you cannot stop this ability once it's in use. This move is fantastic for displacing enemies and covering ground very fast. If you take held items with Talonflame, such as the Wise Glasses that greatly increase his special attack, Talonflame can be an absolute force to be reckoned with out there on the battlefield. So, if you like fast Pokemon or jungler type Pokemon, I highly suggest you take Talonflame as your beginner Pokemon. Let's say speedsters, damage types, support types aren't your playstyle. Have a look at the defense type Pokemon Snorlax. Now Snorlax is going to be my personal pick for Pokemon Unite as my starter Pokemon, and here's why. Currently, In my opinion, Snorlax has one of the better abilities in the game. At level 8, Snorlax gets the ability Block. Block has the user spread their arms wide to create a wall and grants them a shield. Prevents Pokemon from passing through the wall and shoves opposing Pokemon that run into it. So Block is great for keeping enemies off of things such as Zapdos, who spawns in the middle of one of the maps, and when claimed by your team gets instant Eostunking, which can definitely pull you ahead in the middle of a fight. Now, Snorlax is kind of weird. Snorlax is a great tank character, but if you pair him with the right held items, he can become a great offense character while still being a tank. If you pair Snorlax with items such as the Leftovers, the Assault Vest, the Rocky Helmet, as you see here on the screen, then Snorlax becomes a great tank character. If you pair him with items such as the Muscle Band, the Float Stone, these items that increase your basic attack, Snorlax can do some really heavy damage, absolutely becoming a devastating monster out there on the field. Let's say you really like all of these Pokemon, then why don't you give Charizard a go? Charizard is what's considered an all-arounder Pokemon. Now, Charizard, unlike most Pokemon, does not have a third basic attack effect, where, as with Pikachu on the third hit, his enemies gain a slow. Charizard, as he evolves, the distance of the basic attack increases, and as well as the burn damage inflicted increases. So Charizard, as I mentioned, he's an all-rounder Pokemon. He does not have as much support as like a support type would, but he's more or less a damage speedster. He's not as fast as a Talonflame, but he's still very mobile. So this is just a quick rundown of what the starter Pokemon do in Pokemon Unite. What you actually take is up to you. Make sure to let me know in the comments below what starter you plan to take when Pokemon Unite officially releases. So just a reminder that all of these come down to your playstyle. You, however, can play them however you want. It's a game. Have fun with it. Do what you want to do with it. Don't let these meta guides tell you what to do. Play the game how you want to play the game. So, if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you leave a like, make sure you subscribe. If you're at all interested, I have character guides up on my channel that you should take a look at if you want to figure out like what some of the better abilities are, some of the better held items to use with said character, some of the better battle items to use. If you like me and how I play the game, or just my thought process, take a look over at my Twitch, twitch.tv/EnderPandaPlayz, where I'll be live streaming every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and sometimes Saturday from 2 to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.